Good evening and welcome to Prime of Midlife. It's Tuesday night. I have to say, Vicks on your feet works wonders. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I feel a tad better, although as you can hear, I still have the cold. However, this evening we are talking media manipulation. And the reason we're talking about this is there was a story on the BBC. It was on the website, I think, yesterday. And you'll see it's about a young lady who, I think the headline is, I've only got 30 pence left in the electricity meter. So we had a look at the story. And sure enough, it's a young lady with kids, etc. And she's really, really struggling. She's not able to pay the bills. She had to become, I think, her partner's carer, and she's got 2 kids. So they couldn't afford the bills, and she got put in a prepayment meter, and now she's really, really struggling with the increased costs. I'm like, okay. Then they go on to tell you that she's £11,000 in debt to the electricity company. And what does your brain do? Because we checked this out. Mandy and I actually tried it on the other people in the office. And we told 2 stories. And every time it came back to, but how could she be 11,000 in debt? How does the electricity company let her do that? How could she not pay for her electricity till it gets to 11,000? And that's all people were focused on. Now there is another story of a young lady called Shannon, who has 2 kids, works in a garage, so not much over minimum wage. Her and her partner are in a rented flat, and they have a prepayment meter because it's a rented flat, and they struggle. And they struggle even more nowadays because with the price of electricity going up, yes, they've got the voucher thingy bob, but just with the price of, milk going up the way it has, butter going up the way it has, they're changing the way they eat, they're changing the way they heat the house, they're changing pretty much everything. And they are really struggling, and that's even with the 2 of them working. Now, why does the media not tell you that story? That's the question. Why is it that when they tell you the story of someone who's struggling, there's always seems to be a caveat? Like they've not paid their electricity bill for ages, or something else that makes it that, you struggle to wonder why things got to the stage that they're at. It's someone that you see smoking and drinking. So, well, if they stopped smoking and stopped drinking, then they wouldn't have the problem. What they don't show you is a young family who don't smoke, who don't drink, who are both working, and who are really, really struggling right now. And that is your classic media manipulation. And it is happening so often just now. So the next time you read a website or you read the news or you read the paper, listen to the news, whatever way you do it, watch out for those little bits. Those little bits like, this is such a sad tale, but. There's always a but there somewhere. There's a but that lets you know. It's like if they're saying, I think on the way home tonight in the car, they were talking about the health service and how they're balloting members for strike action. And, the cost of living has gone up so much. Inflation's at 10%, 10.1 I think it is just now. Interest rates on mortgages have gone up. And the word on the street, nothing's been confirmed as yet, but the word on the street is that taxes are going to go up across the board. And that public sector pay rises are going to be 2%, which basically means you're losing so much money if you're a public sector worker. Now, these are the people, obviously, who got us through COVID, who are your ambulance drivers, your fire engines, your police, your everything like that. And the reporter on the BBC, because it was Radio 4 I had it on, and he's like, yes, but do you think the public will support them if they go on strike? you know, this is the National Health Service with all the backlogs, with all the this and all the that. Excuse me. And that's the but. That is the, do you know, okay, so there's inflation at 10%, the mortgages have gone up by like £500 a month, but, you know, they're the health service, so they should keep working even if they only get 2% pay rise. Because the public won't support them if they can't get their operations, if they can't get the waiting times down. No. Don't give me your rubbish. The NHS staff, the emergency services, everything like that, have kept this country going through so many years, and they have been taken advantage of for so many years because it's a vacation. Many of them do it just because it's their thing. It's what they were born to do. That's how they feel. That does not mean you can treat them like rubbish. It does not mean that you can keep hammering them, saying, oh, the government doesn't have enough money to give you a bigger pay rise. But the government has enough money to not put a windfall tax on stuff, to not raise the higher rate of tax. You know, you need to make a decision here. And the decision should be that your NHS and your public sector workers get a decent pay rise to take them up to the standard of living that is required with the rate of inflation. It should not be that, oh, you get 2.5%, but see the boss of this. And I mean, don't even at me at how many diversity and inclusion jobs are going in the NHS just now at ridiculous wages. That should stop right now and get the nurses in. You do not need, I think they said it's something like 700 jobs or something like that, or no, I think I possibly got that wrong. I can't remember, to be honest. But one of the websites said there is so many of these jobs going in the public sector. That's, you know, they certainly should not be getting paid more than nurses and doctors. No. And we certainly should not be having them all over the place. You know, it's just not right. Get the people on the front line paid a decent wage, and everything else can follow, because then you'll have more positivity in the workplace. If they're not having to go to a food bank after doing a shift. See, I can't even yell because I know I'll start coughing. But yes, that's my thing. Is watch for your media manipulation, because it's really beginning to get a bit obvious now. Any story that they tell you about some poor person who's struggling, there's always a caveat as to, oh, but they're smoking and drinking, oh, but they didn't pay their electricity bills, oh, but this, oh, but that. No. Done with that. And don't give me your rubbish about the NHS and they shouldn't go on strike because they're the NHS. We'll pay them. Because I, for one, would back the NHS every step of the way if they went on strike. Because what they do is they have what the head person of the TUC called a life and limb thing. They will have basic cover. And yes, your operations might get cancelled. But I'd rather my operations were cancelled and done next year by someone who is actually not starving or exhausted than have it done now by someone who no more wants to be there than fleeing the air because they can barely feed themselves or their family. So yes, I shall leave you there. I'm going to go and put more flames on the fire and make myself a cup of tea and go bleh and put more Vicks on my feet. So I will catch you later.